So you'll notice that the page here says Dutch, and this is in effect a form of the Dutch defense. However, if you've looked at my How to Beat Grandmasters short series earlier on, especially the one against the world champion, the ex-world champion, you'll notice that I play this formation against the English opening, and it amounts to kind of a modified Dutch because f5 is played. However, I also get an e5, so that's pretty rare in most variations of the Dutch. But basically, I'm playing a reverse Latvian gambit of sorts. But since it's a closed white opening, we would have to call it the Dutch. So it enables white to fianchetto and do a lot of things that are very difficult to attack. And what's interesting about this game is attacks against the fortified fianchetto position of white with an f-pawn are usually fruitless and shouldn't be attempted. And in this case, I found a rather interesting way of attacking that formation, and it has to do with awkward placement of white pieces, and that is really the salient feature of this video, and the fact that we often try to trade off our bad bishop as soon as possible becomes a real timing issue. So without further ado, we're going to look at this game and see whether or not we can come up with start our engine. So there is what I would consider to be a Dutch defense of some sort. I like playing my bishop to c5. Computer doesn't like that. Computers never like that because it sets up kind of a tempo on d4 with a pawn push. And of course I played an attempt to stop that and says I should be playing a6 here in order to retreat my bishop and prevent that contact. And once again I ignore that. He says just d4 is perfectly playable. He does play d4. I move my bishop. Now it says white has a solid advantage. So I was prepared for the exchanges, and the fact is that white starts to misplay this. Suggest bishop takes, which is like all the number one computer moves this player's playing. So this forces an exchange. He takes back with the pawn instead of the knight and then this plays into just why would he do that? He wants to keep his knight for the possibility of going to f4 in case I push e4 or something. I don't know. So we now have a solid advantage due to his poor idea. It's suggesting that he should simply castle, and let's see if this is the game loser. No, this is not the game loser yet. I see rook to b8 sets up the long distance skewer problem for now he's got to do something about his queen and the fact that his rook's on h1, and queen to a4 was the right move, and he castles. So now it becomes, how do we use this crushing advantage that we have to turn this into a win? And this is a situation where there's no, I don't believe there's a real forced win, but we're getting very close. But it requires some really, really strong chess. So that's the obvious move, and he makes the obvious retreat. Now let's suggest bishop to f3, which I believe I played, which also is a fairly obvious move. And he should be attempting to protect that, and he protects it the wrong way. So now he's definitely lost. Now let's see how accurate I play. Now here is the really key point of what I'm trying to point out in this video, and that is that knight has no place to move at this point. So this becomes a threat of actually winning a piece. The threat is going queen to h4, and of course there's a much bigger threat involved, and that's queen to h4 to h3, which creates a unstoppable mating net. So he has to do something at this point. He can't even move his king, so he's already down 5. That's what this amounts to. So he's grotesquely lost in this position. and it says Stockfish recommends D takes E5, which still puts him down 5. So he moves there, I move there, game's over. Resignation follows. So this is a very short game against a strong player who resigns. He's got a trap knight, and even without the trap knight, bad things are about to happen. And that's the end of this video.